Today, I'm going to show you how having competency with AI literacy, understanding of coding and technology is advantageous when you're figuring out digital solutions. Now, there are tools now like Bolt and Replit that have these AI agents that can build entire applications for you. And at minimum, a MVP that can at least justify for venture capital or just to communicate a message within your company. I've seen it firsthand and I'm rather impressed. But sometimes there is going to be debugging processes that need to take place. And for that reason, I wanted to show you how, if you do understand any of this stuff under the hood, you can have that advantage to solve some of the problems that you're going to have just in general and make your own solutions. So the problem that I had is actually very simple. There's multiple YouTube videos that I want to extract information from. Now, with that information, what I want to do is curate it and format it into specific pieces of information that I can use from JSON, insert it into a CVS file, whatever it is. And then I can take that information and I can do whatever else with all that data. However, this is going to require me to get the actual words that are coming from these videos. So in this case, I have a 14-minute video, and this 14-minute video is 14 minutes that I don't have time to waste watching. But what I can do is I can build a Chrome extension that will take the transcript of the words that are in the video, and from the words within that video, I can prompt engineer something that will provide me an output that is formatted in a very specific way so that I can leverage it as data and then bring that data wherever I want it to go. Now, how would I do this? Well, to do this, I have to understand a couple of things. One, what steps do I actually want to take to make that happen? All right, well, essentially, it's a simple enough process that I can just simply have a Chrome extension that would look at the front end of the page, click on More, scroll down, find the button that says Show Transcript, click on Show Transcript, which will now populate new elements that are going to have the actual transcript in here. Grab each one of these elements, concatenate them together, and then that provides me one long string of the transcript. And of course, we want to reformat, so we take out all of these numerical values. So with that, here's the Chrome extension that I developed. I'm just going to put copy transcript. It goes ahead and, oh, well, actually, let's just start from scratch. Okay. Let's say I found this video. It is brand new. Here it is. With that, I'm going to copy the transcript. You can see in the console here some messages that are communicating the various steps in the process that have been completed. Successfully copied to clipboard, transcript copied to clipboard. And now that it's copied to my clipboard, it means I can just do Control V, and then boom, here we are. I have the entire transcript. So how did I go about that process? Well, so you have to understand how Chrome extensions work. You can't just ask for it, because even building out the Chrome extension itself involves a couple of different steps for the implementation. So what you can see is I initially located within my inspector tool, so within the actual elements, I inspected and identified what is the more, what is the show transcript, what are these elements. And by understanding how HTML operates, I was able to have it specifically find those specific elements and give it some instructions about the ordering of when to click on those elements. And then through some processes of back and forth and debugging, I had it verify for me how it works. And sometimes that's beneficial, because as you build out these kinds of things, sometimes during the explanation process, it will be able to identify something that doesn't quite make sense, or you can call it on early on. It doesn't work, okay, and then it was able to modify the code. And then what you'll see here is we added a pop-up window. We added some additional specifications. It did not adjust for the initially, when I did get it to work correctly, it had the formatting include the timestamps, which are not going to be beneficial for me. I want this to be as user-friendly as possible. I also you can see I'm periodically asking the specific portions of the code that it's updating. I can read this code. And with the reading of that code, I can understand what it's doing and why it's doing it. Do I have to check every single thing? Yeah, sometimes no. It just kind of depends, right? With that being said, all of that ends up working out just fine. I'm able to implement it as one of my Chrome extensions because I understand how that operates. And then I know what's going to be coming in. And so I go through the process of prompt engineering something that is going to be a little bit more helpful for providing instructions on what I want the final output to be. And then I can also bring it into the text inputs as well, and also modify and look at their input, almost like you'd be asking for advice from a peer on some of its recommendations. And then you can go back and forth with it. And now that you have that information, you can actually build something out like a project. And with that project, you can provide those specific instructions that have been formatted in a specific way. And so it knows that the input you're providing is going to be specifically provided in a specific way. And so here is all of that information from the video that I'm just simply going in. I'm pressing paste, I drop it in, and look at this. It's providing me that formatted information exactly as I want it. And with all of that, I'm just verifying that, hey, is this everything? Yep, it is. And so with that, I now have the information, and I can take this raw information and use it as data however I want to use data. This is not web scraping. This is video scraping. And that is something that you can expect to see more of, especially as more videos start to get generated by AI. Content creation itself, you're going to see more and more content being generated by AI. And that has the added advantage, because what's likely to end up happening is there's going to be a compounding effect where there's going to be a particular pattern that repeats. And this just makes it even easier for the scraping process to take place. And I'll have to make adjustments over, if I need to, for different outputs, whether it be a podcast, etc. But the point is that because I understand how the web works, that things get timed out, that they have to appear on the screen a certain time frame, I was able to debug and figure things out without having to write all of that code. How much of that code did I read? How long did it take? Not long. In fact, I spent more time just being able to I spent more time in the debugging process than the actual copying and pasting and over of code, but not the debugging process that I would normally have with code. Because typically one of the things that you're fighting when you're developing code from scratch is sometimes simple things like syntax errors. And although those do happen, the simple syntax errors seem to be sometimes less of an issue. And sometimes it's more a logical issue or a programmatic issue, a sequential issue that you can, once again, identify if you have a little bit of this background, a little bit of this understanding. So I hope this has been helpful and interesting to you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.